Coming up on Mountain News this morning, most of us try to avoid ticks. We talk with someone who actually collects them. We'll tell you why. And we talk with one Magoffin County native working in the epicenter of the COVID-19 pandemic here in the U.S. about that experience.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Lacey Roberts, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News This Morning. Today is Wednesday, May 27th, also known as Hump Day. But it doesn't look like you're going to get a break with those temperatures today. On Hump Day, it's going to be just as humid as it was yesterday. Let's bring in Brandon Robinson to give us a look at what we can expect. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning, Lacey, and you're right, the humidity continues, but there is some relief in sight. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit, but this morning, more clouds than we've seen the last couple of days. We're seeing a few spotty showers. Now, some areas may still see a few peaks of sunshine early this morning, but those clouds will ebb and flow throughout the day. Some mainly cloudy skies is what we'll call it today. Temperatures very mild in those northern counties where the clouds have kept some of that heat in there. A little cooler down south, like places like Somerset there, 64. Middlesboro also at 64 and Wise. But you're seeing 70 or above from basically Moorhead back toward Huntington and along the line there of Jackson, Prestonsburg, and Logan this morning. We'll take a look at our 12-hour planner, and you'll see those temperatures climb quickly, but not as quickly as we have seen the last couple of days, thanks to that cloud cover. Only right around 80 today. Some spots, if you see a little bit of sunshine longer, may make it into the low 80s. But again, I do think those mainly cloudy skies will be around for much of the day, and rain chances will start to pick back up again as we head deeper into the afternoon. Full forecast on the way here in just a little bit. Lacey.
Thank you, Brandon. Heavy rain washed away cars, bridges, and homes Sunday afternoon. Isolated flash flooding happened in just minutes near the Knott County Peary line. WYMT's Connor James shows us how the folks along Clear Fork Road and the Locks Creek community are still a long ways from rebuilding.
This is what heavy rain over the span of an hour caused in Knott County.
It just happened within minutes.
That building you're looking at is hung up on a bridge as the rushing waters swept it away. It's not just a building, though. It's Margaret and Oscar Grigsby's home of 40 years. Now she lives with her niece.
We lost everything we had except the clothes and shoes on her feet.
In what Margaret calls a few minutes, the stream behind her house became a river.
It just happened so quick you didn't have time to even think.
Her son carried her from the building as the floodwaters rose.
They got out and a log hit them on the leg and jerked them under.
She lost sight of them momentarily until a neighbor helped pull them from the water. Like the flash flooding, it all happened so quickly.
I didn't even see him. So to me, God sent. That's what I'm saying. He was God sent.
Thankfully, the family made it out safe. Her home, though, is gone. All that's left standing are a few cinder blocks and her front porch.
Well, it looked like a dead burned ocean coming out here, man.
The destruction is evident in the community. Lloyd Gayhart's property is also flooded.
And the yard was full of water.
A car that sat right here was washed nearly a quarter-mile downstream.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This area has flooded before, but the damage this time...
It wasn't nothing like this. No way.
As the mud and debris are moved, the community cleanup is a reminder for Margaret's niece that they are in this together.
Everybody on Locks Creek has been damaged from this, some way or some form, and everybody I know is thanking God that everyone is safe, no one was hurt.
In Knott County, Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, if you're looking to help donate to the family that lost their home or looking for ways in general to help, you can call the Lotts Creek Fire Department at 606-438-3001. They are storing and accepting donations there. Margaret's grandniece, Whitney Gayhart, is also collecting supplies for the family. And a road collapsed with a car on top of it this past weekend on State Highway 267 in Perry County. The road has been closed for a month. Someone driving a Mazda CX-30 drove on the closed road, which gave way, flipping the car upside down. H.B. Elkins with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet says if a road is closed, turn around. Do not try and drive on it.
People should not drive past a road closed sign. It is illegal. If somebody drives past a road closed sign. And it's also common sense, it's a matter of life and death. If the road's closed, it's closed for a reason, because it's unsafe.
Elkins says they do not know the condition of the driver of the car. And ticks are not something that we want to see, and they can not only be irritating but dangerous as well. Most of us try to avoid ticks at all costs, but University of Kentucky graduate research assistant Anna Pasternak is seeking them out. Pasternak collects ticks and gets ticks sent to her by veterinarians and county extension agents all across the state.
We are able to understand what species of tick are here and what kind of pathogens they're carrying so that we can know what diseases are Kentuckians at risk for when they go outside, when they go riding their horses or walking their dogs in the woods.
Experts say this could be a bad year for ticks, so if you do venture outside, especially into the woods, make sure to wear an insect repellent to decrease your chance of contracting a tick-borne illness. But of course, tick-borne diseases are not our only concern this summer as the country continues to gradually reopen during the COVID-19 pandemic. The World Health Organization warns that countries opening up too fast could face immediate upticks of illness and disease. The warning follows the Memorial Day weekend and the U.S. death toll is approaching 100,000. The World Health Organization issued a reminder yesterday that the number of virus cases can jump at any time.
We may get a second peak in this wave.
On Sunday, 25 states reported increases in their average new COVID-19 cases compared to 2 weeks ago. 3 of them, Montana, Alaska, and Arkansas, up more than 100%. And the World Health Organization has also paused the trial of the drug hydrochloroquine for safety concerns. This comes after a study published in the Lancet Medical Journal showed patients receiving the anti-malaria drug had an increased risk of death and heart problems compared to other coronavirus patients.
They're going to stop enrolling for about a week, the hydroxychloroquine arm only, and take a closer look, given the results that were published in Lancet last week at Columbia University. Makes sense. Make sure that there's no side effects that were missed.
President Trump recently finished a 2-week regimen of the drug after revealing last week that he was taking it as a preventative measure. And as the number of cases of COVID-19 are at an all-time low in New York City, the fight healthcare workers face each day has become somewhat familiar. One Magoffin County native, Heath Ward, is on those front lines. He is a first-year internal medicine resident in the ICU department at Mount Sinai Beth Israel Hospital in Manhattan. Unaware he would be helping save lives in this way, at first it was shocking, but Ward said it is just a part of what healthcare workers do.
This general feeling of we're more susceptible than we ever have been because we're there to help people, and it doesn't matter what it is. You know, it's not we'll help people with an asterisk.
Ward says right now there are around 300 COVID-19 patients in the entire Mount Sinai hospital system. Only 100 of those are in the ICU. At the height of the pandemic, there were just under 2,000 patients hospitalized. And more than 2 months ago, events and locations across Kentucky shut down because of concerns surrounding COVID-19. Now we are in a phased restart. Each week, more and more shuttered locations are reopening. WYMT's Will Puckett has more from one of Harlan County's most notable attractions.
If you ask Nick Sturgill how this shutdown impacts Portal 31, he will tell you candidly it was in their slow months.
For us, if we were going to be shut down any other months, those were the ones we could be shut down and it not affect us as much.
Running from the beginning of March to December, Portal 31, like many, feels the pinch of 2 missing months of business.
Due to the fact that, you know, everybody is more or less on the same man trip going through the mine to do a tour. You know, we've had to cut that out due to the social distancing aspect and things like that.
Reopening this past weekend, Sturgill and his staff are taking the proper precautions.
We usually run tours every 45 minutes. Now we're running them every hour, and that gives us an extra 15 or 20 minutes between tours spray everything down, wipe it down, make sure everything's sanitized, not just for ourselves, but for the general public.
Including limiting tours from 15 to 10 and limiting those groups to only the same families or people who come in together.
We only have so many seats available, so we have so many people wanting to do tours often that the big challenge was keeping everybody still at a safe social distance.
Sturgill is hopeful the precautions they have in place will bring back the crowd that they normally see when the calendar flips to June. In Lynch, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
And this past weekend, Portal 31 had between 12 and 15 people stop by. Normally, they would see anywhere between 50 and 100. And just across the street from Portal 31 is Lamphouse Coffee. They are back open to customers in the store for the first time since restaurants were forced to make changes. Managing directors Eric and Sissy Rutherford said the most difficult part of the forced changes was laying off their staff. But now they hope that they can start ramping things back up and welcoming their normal customers and workers back.
Financially, it hasn't been super stressful. Like I say, we're part of a ministry. We did receive a grant from University of Kentucky, which was very helpful. Other than having to lay people off, which again is opposed to kind of our whole purpose of being here, that wasn't any fun. But again, being a ministry, our faith is in God, so we're just kind of trying to roll with it and do the best we can to stay open for the community.
Lamphouse's new hours are Tuesday through Saturday from 8 to 3. They plan to keep those in place as long as they need to, depending on demand. And just ahead on Mountain News this morning, one boy kept calm after finding himself face to face with a bear. We have the video.
Just a few more weary days and then we'll see a nice sweet relief as we head toward the weekend and next week. We'll talk about it in about 3 minutes.